Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigil here and welcome back to another video. So in this one we're going to talk about ORM, the upcoming legendary character, and we get the passives and abilities revealed. And if the calculations are done correctly on this one, this is probably going to be the most broken character in the game. Oh, it might not be. We can only tell once we get our hands on him. So until we wait for that, we're going to take a little bit of a sneak peek at this. So first passive is going to be Atlantean Energy. So ORM successful attacks and swipe attacks, which means pretty much all the attacks, are going to stack Atlantean energy. And you're going to get 4 stacks on a successful basic or swipe. This is at 7 stars, so it's going to stack a little bit slower at lower star ratings, I assume. The maximum amount is going to be 70 stacks, which seems to be for all the star ratings because we don't have that yellow value here. And then you're going to get ability damage for each Atlantean stack. And using an ability consumes all of them. So you're basically gonna build combo as you normally do if you have a character that's based on doing specials. This guy is gonna be, as we're gonna get into, and on top of the damage that you are already gonna get from the combo that you built, you're also gonna get an additional amount of damage from this. Now this is not really the selling point of the character because I'm very skeptical of ability damage since we got ability damage on Artifact and that was pretty damn garbage. But this is not the selling point of the character. This is a passive that's going to interact a little bit with other things. So next up, the passive number 2. ORM gains Atlantean Shield based on the number of Atlantean energy stacks he has consumed. Yet again, you build combo, you build Atlantean energy stacks, you use a special, and you consume those stacks to get a damage increase on that special. And as you consume those stacks, you're going to get a shield. The shield is probably going to be a shield comparable to the Green Lantern shield, to the point where, while that is active, you're not going to be you're not going to be able to be staggered by the opponents. And that's great because that's going to allow everybody to be able to combo and chop the opponent, even if you're not particularly good at that. So he's going to have a very good convenience thing over here. Another comparison you can make is think about Johnson Green Lantern plus Swamp Thing, but you don't have to constantly tag in and out to get the Swamp Thing shield. You get it each time you use a special with Constantine. It's gonna work kind of if that happened there. But it's gonna be a good shield. This is a very good convenience thing. He would be still extremely strong without this, and this doesn't add in any way, shape, or form to his damage if you could combo interrupt without this. But it's gonna be extremely convenient, and I'm glad it's here. And now the third special. When ORM uses special 1, his gun he has Atlantean energy, he inflicts electrify on the opponent. And special 2 and third special are gonna destroy those stacks. So we have Atlantean energy. This is a buff you apply to yourself as you do basic attacks, and you consume it on specials. Now when you consume this on specials, you transfer this buff to the enemy as a little bit of a debuff. And this is going to have and additional effects for the other things. And now we have effects for each special here, and I'm gonna talk about the specific special, and then we're gonna go back to the effect because it makes more sense that way. And special 1 is gonna be a little bit of damage, and one random buff on the opponent is gonna be dispelled for each 25 Atlantean energy. Again, you can go all the way up to 70 stacks. So let's say we can disable 2 buffs at once. Kind of weird here, because 25 plus 25 equals 50, and then you're going to be left with 20 here. That could use 5 more stacks to disable 3 debuffs from the opponents. But it's not going to be too relevant. It's something that you're just going to occasionally use. And it's very, very rare that even when you want to remove buffs from the opponent has a lot of buffs. They usually have one single buff and a lot of stacks of that, so I guess that's gonna work very well in those situations regardless. Now, this is the special 1. Let's take a look at what happens with the special 1 in addition to this. And special 1 is gonna add that debuff that we talked about, Electrify, for every 6 stacks of Atlantean energy, up to a maximum of 12. So again, you build your combo, you use this, and this is gonna remove the buff from you and add a debuff to the opponents. I mean, every special removes the Electrify buff, the Atlantean energy buff for you, but this makes it in exchange for some Electrify on the opponent, and it's gonna be for every 6 stacks of Atlantean energy, you're gonna get 1 stack of it. That is at level 7. So we're gonna get all the way up to 11 stacks. That's kind of weird. Yet again, could use 2 more stacks here, so it's maximum of 70, right? And you're gonna get 1 stack for 6 Atlantean energy. So you can have a 7 stacks on the enemy. You use this, and it's gonna give you exactly 11 because it would need a 2 here to give you exactly 12. Kind of weird. I don't think anybody's gonna use 2 of those when they have him at 7 stars to apply exactly 12. I think most people are gonna run 11 here. Again, it's not too relevant, but boy, it tickles my OCD hard. But yeah, you're gonna apply some electrify stacks on the opponents. Now, this is the special that applies the stacks. You're gonna kind of set up here. Think of Harley, let's say League of Anarchy Harley, that does more damage to stunned opponents. This is gonna be your stun. So you're gonna, in a way, stun the opponent with this if you're playing Harley, but you're not really stunning them. You're preparing them to deal a lot of damage to them. Now, the League of Anarchy Harley basics are gonna be your special abilities, actually, because this is what you're gonna use to deal the damage once you've applied this. So, special 2. Every 1 second, 1 electrify stacks is destroyed and lasts 4 seconds, and plus 1 additional second for every 8 stacks of Atlantean energy. Again, doesn't divide perfectly here. So it's gonna be a maximum of plus 7 seconds, I guess. So it's gonna be 11 seconds. And why would you want to use 1 stack of Electrify every second for 11 seconds? Because as we take a look at this, it's gonna deal some damage, and you're gonna get 1 power bar for every Electrify stack destroyed. So this is gonna be kind of your power generation tool. You use special 1 to apply the debuff on the enemy, and then you use this to blow up the debuff, and you get a bit of power generation for a while, which is gonna be pretty good. Now, let's move to the third special. It's gonna deal some damage, and it's gonna disable the block for 2 seconds for each electrify stack. You're probably gonna be running 11 stacks, as we talked about, so the block is disabled is gonna last 20 seconds. Since you get the shield, that's not too relevant, because you can just block the first hit and just keep hitting the enemy, but I guess if they get blocked disabled too, it's gonna be even more convenient, who knows. But we move here and we take a look at this. So it's gonna be 1% of electrify stacks are immediately destroyed based on the Atlantean energy stacks you have when using that. We talked about this here. You can have a maximum of 70 stacks by constantly hitting the enemy. So you're gonna destroy 70% of your Atlantean energy stacks. And again, it doesn't divide perfectly, but you're gonna destroy electrify, excuse me. It doesn't divide perfectly, but yet again, as this one blows the electrify stacks that you're applying with the special 1 for power generation, this instead blows the electrify stacks that you're applying with the special 1 for damage. And also with the Atlantean energy, if this seems confusing, just think of it as combo. You're gonna build combo anyway, so don't worry about this too much. But we're gonna get 1% of stacks blown up for each Atlantean energy. We have maximum 70 stacks, so 70% of them are gonna be blown up. And the maximum amount of electrify we can have is gonna be 12. And it's not the perfect, bro. Wait. How much is 70%? How much is 70% of 12? Let's just call it 8. Let's call it 8 over here. So you're gonna get this done 8 times. What are you gonna get done 8 times for destroying 8 electrified stacks? You're gonna get 3000% of your attack as damage. And this is gonna add some stacks of Atlantean energy. This basically speeds up the process of combo building for the next ability. Don't worry about this too much. As I said, you can regard this as combo for it to be easier. But yeah, this is gonna deal, in theory, if this is calculated correctly, a huge amount of damage. Now, this 3000% is gonna be normal attack, which means it's gonna have to be pretty damn big because it doesn't have double scaling with stuff. It's not gonna take double benefits as Dot does from Dark Metal cards. It might not even stack in the first place with crit damage. We're gonna see how that goes. But it's gonna be regardless an absolutely huge amount because you're gonna get, as we said, 3000 of your probably, hopefully, total attack, hopefully 7 times each time you do that. So let's recap because this can get a little bit of confusing, I think. First special, you can just regard it as combo. As you build combo, you're gonna get another thing that could be regarded as combo. If they said he's gonna get those things, he's gonna get the synergies here, he's gonna get the ability damage, he's gonna get the empowered effect on the special one based on the combo he has, instead of based on the Atlantean energy stacks he has, it would have been kind of the exact same thing. So you build combo, and whenever you build combo and you use the special one, you're gonna apply Electrify on the opponents, which is the debuff. Then you're gonna blow up the debuff either for power generation or for a lot of damage. That's how it works. While you have a little bit of a shield here. And the super move is gonna pretty much double the pace at which you accumulate Titan energy, which is pretty good. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Hopefully I managed to explain this because this can be a little bit complicated, as you're gonna see the gameplay with the character as we get our hands on him. It's gonna be a lot more simple because all you're doing is build combo, special 1, build combo, special 2, get a huge amount of power generation, build combo, special 1, build combo, third special, bam, huge amount of damage. And at some point, if we're having a Dr. Fate for power generation reduction, and if we're like in the second minute of the fight, you're just gonna take the special 2 out of the equation because you might not really need to power generate that much. There's gonna be combo, special 1, bam, electrify, combo, special 3, bam, a lot of damage. That's how this is gonna work in the simplest term I can come up with. But yeah, hopefully I managed to explain this correctly. Again, we don't know really how this is gonna go until we get our hands on the character. But yeah, all that being said, thanks so much for watching. Like the reflected, dislike to dislike it, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye!